I'm kind of down today, but I'm excited for this live stream. It's just like political stuff that's going on, and some days I'm okay and some days I'm not. But I did do this face today, so that made me feel a little bit better. I was excited for this live stream. We're going to be doing a lot of swatching, so we got my sponge tips over here. And for right now, though, for those who will rewatch later, or for the replay crew, I'm going to do the intro. Hello and welcome if you've been here. Hey, Grace. And welcome back if you've been here before. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation. Why? Because we know it's okay to be our authentic self. Just be who you are and just rock it. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you have to use a certain brand, a certain tool, or a certain technique. Use whatever you want to use any way you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. The bottom line here, y'all, is self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features. Enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. Two things that you need to know about me if you are new here. I curse because I curse, I do. And the other thing, there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. And I do try to be aware of it so I can say excuse me. So that's the intro. Those are two tidbits about me. Hello, Grace. Hello, Nina. Hello, Locke. And there's somebody else in here that's hiding, but hello to you too. Grace, I had to pause your members only video. I think I have like 30 minutes left to watch. This look I did. Well, let me tell you what we're going to do. It's a lot. Oh, you know what? There's a comment under here. Oh, that was from Grace and Heidi and Nina. I love when y'all talk to each other. Y'all, we have... I remember saying I had a project that I was working on. I think my Martine Cosmetics Mission Triple X palette is dying or it's on its way. Some of the shades still perform like they're new and some they're looking a little different. So the same as I did with 669, I said I'm going to dupe this palette. But once I swatched out the colors and everything, and I did already have a label on the palette because I think I showed that I emptied the green one because Mission Triple X is green. And so everything that was in here, I put into a different palette. But when I got the shadows from Lethal, I had to change the label. So my label says Martine Cosmetics Mission Triple X Inspired. It said dupe before, and I'm like, it's not a dupe. I'm gonna show you what it looks like later, and we are going to do swatches of this and swatches with this. And the thing that made it so it was less dupeable was some of these have shifts, and y'all know Lethal has shifts, and so but I got as close as I did, and I was so excited working on this project. And there's a couple shadows in here, the Mission Triple X Inspired, that are the same as in the 669 dupe. And y'all know I always say I don't like dupes in my collection. I'm a hypocrite because if I like those shades so much, I'm like, I don't care. Because I didn't want to have to go into another palette to get that shade. So I'm like, I'm going to still get it. And so that's one thing that, excuse me, we're going to be doing is looking at these two together. And we're going to swatch these. I don't know if I want to swatch these. I think we still will. So members that are here now, let me know, and I'll ask again later before we get into that. And the other project that I was working on was I put on the members only tab my 6 BYOPs from Lethal. And I opened them up and I took pictures of it. So it was like palette number 1, color story, number 2, color story, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, color story. But then I went back and said disregard color story number 6. Because I wanted the members to give me suggestions for names. Because we're going to name our palettes. Because I'm like, okay, Martine 669 has theirs. Mission Triple X Inspired has theirs. And so I was just like, And so I do have some names, and as a collective we're going to decide what name we're going to name the palettes based on the suggestions that I received. Hey Janessa, Yeah, I know. I was multitasking earlier watching Grace's members only live stream. So thank you for being here. And so I'm excited to look at these again with the names. And so what I did was, because y'all know y'all be confusing my damn self, I put on, I put a label, a sticky note with, the color palette and who gave me what name suggestion. And so I have two. There were only two people who participated and gave me examples. And so I am excited about that because as I thought about it, I'm like, that could be pretty overwhelming because I don't want us to be fighting amongst ourselves over, whose name is going to win for the title. And there's one that I think I want to name as something else. What I appreciate though is that the two who did give me name suggestions, they gave me suggestions based on not only the color story but things that they know that I like, and so that gives it more meaning, that it's not just completely random, you know what I mean, even though that would have been fine because it's just a color story. Yeah, you just watched her video, Grace's video. Yeah, I got 30 minutes left. So, and we're not going to swatch any of these, but we are going to swatch these two. We're going to swatch these two. So I think, okay, members that are here, we're going to do this first because that way y'all won't be distracted by swatches all over my face. Because I was going to ask, do we want to swatch first or do this first? But we're going to name the palettes first. And I remember saying I thought that I made a mistake, well, not a mistake, but that I was going to have an extra 6-pan palette, but we don't. What we ended up with was an extra 9-pan palette, which is awesome because if I do pull shades from other palettes to do a look, I can put them in here and work out of here to do the look and then put them back where they were. And I corrected myself in a pinned comment in a video from when I said, what is this under my fingernail? That I said that the names of the shades are not, excuse me, on the back. The names of the shades are on the back of the pans. And so this is just an empty pan, an empty 9-pan. I kind of wish that they had this one in a 12-pan because I like how this looks versus, just the ones that look like this. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm excited. This look today that I'm wearing, I'm doing a Valentine's Day look series. I posted one video. It didn't air yet. And that one is 3 soft grunge anti-Valentine's Day looks. And so this is the most traditional Valentine's Day look you're going to get out of me, including the lip. Y'all know I want to do a dark purple lip, but I'm like, let me give something to those who really actually celebrate and do want, softer looks. And so this is my traditional Valentine's Day look. And I do like it. I'm looking at me like, who are you? But I do like it. So, all right, Janessa says she loves an anti-Valentine celebration. Yeah, they were 3 soft grungy looks. Hey, Tanya, before I forget, Tanya, this lippy, they don't even sell it anymore. It's the House Labs Atomic Shaker Rosewood Shine. They don't have any atomic shakers. Last I looked on her website. It's not on Sephora. So I'm hoping that they're reformulating or something, but I love them the way they were. So if they were to come back and be different, I'm like, would I like it as much? But before I forget, Tanya, I did see comments from today's video, and I'm losing my train of thought. I did see the comments. Thank you, Tanya. I did see the comments from today's video that aired, and so before I forget, because I had to watch the video to see, because Tanya, you asked what brush did I use for the highlighter that I used as a bronzer. That's a Lethal Cosmetics brush. And but I am still going to go back and comment today. My mood shifts day to day and sometimes throughout a day, just the political stuff that's going on, and like wondering, like, am I going to have to get the hell out of Dodge or like what? But so and my hormones are doing their thing again, and so thank you for being here, because I am excited to be here. As you can tell, I did have some Mountain Dew. I got a Twix over here, and I got some tea over here. I thought about you when I did my blush, Tanya, because usually I don't bring it all the way in, and I did. Hey, Sandy, my 32nd day one. So for those who just came, we're going to swatch my Mission XXX inspired lethal palette against Mission Triple X, and I had to change it from dupe to inspired because it's not as close as, thank you Tanya, it's not as close as the 669 lethal dupe is, like not at all. So I had to change it to inspired. The first thing we're going to do though, for those who just got here, we're going to name these palettes based on names that two different members sent to me, and yeah, we're going to do that. I did say disregard color story number 6, but somebody did still, one of those two still did give me a name for that, and the name was perfect. I need to hurry up and drive home. Your live seem to catch me out shopping. Oh, well, be careful, Sandy. Yeah, don't be texting, commenting while you're driving. I need you to stay safe. My 30-second day one. I have the lethal bronzer brush and I like it. I like their bronzer brush and their blush brush. Their eye brushes, I don't know if you were here for that, Lena, because this was when they first came out. All the eye brushes fell apart. And I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then finally, they gave me partial credit, which was fine. The face brushes were fine. But all the eye brushes, something was with the glue. But also, y'all, I have been getting rid of stuff. Hey, Alicia, how are you today? Oh, I also saw your comment, Tanya, on something you said you might get. I think it might have been a blush duo from Natasha. If you do, make sure you use my code. No pressure. I've been pulling out palettes to decrease the number of palettes in my stash, y'all. And I have sitting here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 palettes. And we're just rambling kind of right now. And I'm not even going to do declutter videos anymore because everything that'll be left will be things that I actually really love. And so I think that would just kind of be, I don't know, like when I would ever really do a declutter. And as things run out, because they're things I love, I would most likely repurchase. And so it won't be anything new. You just lost 2 Blend Bunny brush tops. Yeah, and that was the thing too, Alicia, back then before they got new ones. Oh, you got in their mystery bag? Tanya, that is a nice brush. Actually, that's why I have those 2. Nina, thank you for reminding me, because I put my lethal face brushes that I do like, but I wasn't reaching for them. I put those in my travel brush kit. So when I go away, I just have the whole thing ready. And it's actually the Sigma brush book that I purchased from Macari. And it looked brand new. I still, wiped it down though. And so the 2 mystery bags, they were identical. And so each one had that brush. So I'm like, I guess it's meant for me to keep these on a regular basis. Excuse me, Alicia says, I don't believe declutter, but people love declutter videos. And I know that they do, but once I get to where I really love, everything, it won't be anything to declutter. So, so, yeah. And I had posted on my community tab, y'all, a poll of what thumbnails y'all like better, me holding up the palette or a flat lay. And it goes back and forth between the flat lay having a higher percentage and being 50-50 between flat lay and the palette. And so what I thought to do was to do a flat lay at the end of the video, like instead of putting up the little picture of the look from this side, this way, and just to have a flat lay in the video and just holding up the palette in the beginning, because once I get down to everything I love, all the flat lays are going to be the same except the eyeshadow palette. So I was just like, and I still may just switch back and forth too. So thank you to those of you who did answer that, and that poll is still there, so feel free to go check that out. Yes, where you don't have to do them often, just when you feel that you need to. After this one, I won't need to, because after this right here, everything I have left is stuff that I love. And so it won't even be anything to declutter after this one. So a random palette that we have, these were leftover shades, and this is a 6-pan, and this is what it looks like. And I'm surprised at how cohesive it is. Just like when we had the clearance shades, it made a cohesive palette. I still have not used this. This is the water activated liner. So are you saying you won't try new products? No, I'm not saying I won't try new products. I'm saying I won't be decluttering because everything I have I love. So there won't be anything for me to get rid of to do a declutter. And actually I have something coming in the mail soon. Yes, I am. And I don't try new products a lot. Like if you think about it, for the length of time that you've been with me, I do tend to stick with, stuff that I really like. Once in a blue moon, I'll get something new, but this channel is not like a new release channel, keeping up on the new and all of that. So, yeah. So it's not that I won't be, but I am going to think more critically of what I buy. And my goal last year in 2024 was becoming a conscientious consumer, and that's carried over into this year. So really analyzing why am I buying something and getting out of the mindset of just buying something because I know it'll work. So really just buying things that, okay, I know it's going to work, and I really like the color story. I know I'm going to use it often. And so I have been changing my mindset on that, and that's what led me to get rid of some of the palettes I'm getting rid of. Is some of them I just purchased because I knew they would work, and not because it's like, oh my gosh, like I really love that. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so no, you didn't miss any information. Tanya says you got over trying to keep up with all the new products and got the loot for that. It, and to know that eventually it's going to go bad. I mean, it might be a year, 2 years, or whatever, but it's like, And for me, I think about like what's more important. Like, do I just want to have more stuff, or do I want to have stuff that I actually love to use and be excited to use? You know what I mean? Um, and so it's been a journey. It's Janessa says she loves. My problem is that I live too easily. I feel like I love everything. That's got to be hard. Oh my gosh, I'm sending you virtual hugs, Janessa. And I think too, because of like my skin and the sensitivities, that when something really, really, really works, I'm just like, I'm gonna stick with it. Like House Labs bronzers and blushes. Like I don't feel a need to try other stuff. Like I just don't. Like if this is good for me, why am I going to keep recreating the wheel? And again, this is not a new release type channel either. I'm not into the new myself, says Alicia. Tanya says she's rediscovering products I forgot I had. And that's part of it too, Tanya, because if I stop using stuff that I'm mediocre about and I use more of what I love, that's like, oh my gosh, I haven't used this in like 6 months and I love this freaking palette because I've been using stuff I'm ambivalent about. You know what I mean? So y'all know my mind is a scary place, and y'all know I'm always thinking about stuff. But this is just a random palette of shades that were left over, and it's very cohesive. And this is a dual chrome. We have this in another palette. So you see is that color, and then it's green. Getting the real value out of your stash. Yeah, which means for me getting rid of other stuff. So it's kind of, it can be tricky because sometimes it's like, well, I pay for that. I want to keep it and use it, but then I'm ambivalent about it and don't really feel excited to use it. So then it's like, so do I just keep it for what? You know what I mean? So it's yeah, my mind, y'all know how my mind works if y'all been here for a while. So this is a very cohesive little 6-pan palette. Because of the shift in this shade, I do think this green or the yellow would work, and definitely either one would work, even if I just did these shades or this one, because this is a pale green. So this is a dual chrome. I forget what it shifts as. It's like a very light pink, and then it's white. And so I was surprised that these random shades made a cohesive palette. And I do think this will go with that. I still need to use it. Fingers crossed, y'all, that it doesn't irritate my lids. I still have the blue one to get rid of, and Dahlia, because those were duplicates in palettes too. For members here, I did do a members post, and if I had your information, I think I may have sent you the post. So I am doing something new, at least once a month, maybe twice, not sure yet. So, y'all, we're going to get into these palettes. I'm so freaking excited. Let me take a sip of my tea. Just a touch above room temperature. Whew. Did y'all hear that belch? Excuse me. This is Celestial Seasonings Jammin' Lemon Ginger Tea. So good. So palette number 1. Shout out again to the members who responded and named these palettes. And I love that They both had backstories to why they picked it. Hell no, Tanya. This ain't no damn $50 Stanley Cup. I think that's freaking ridiculous. This is Iron Flask, and that's the F there, and down here it says Iron Flask. And the other one I have, that's not a cup holder one, that's also Iron Flask. And I think it was 30 something. Hey, Dawn. So no, I know people who did purchase the Stanley Cup, and this is Iron Flask. This is the one I use for tea, and the other one I just use for water. And both of them are 40 ounces. um, I do know people who purchased the Stanley Cup, and I don't think they really used tumblers anyway. And they said it did help them drink more water because it's like, oh, you got the straw. Or the other one I use for water, you can, well, it has different lids because this one has a flip up lid too. And they said they do actually drink more water. But I'm like, $50 though? Like, excuse me, hurt at my throat. But I do like having the other 40-ounce one that I use for water because now I don't have to keep, well, I didn't have to, but now I don't keep recycling Gatorade bottles to use for water. And because this is 40 ounces and the water one is 40 ounces, and I typically drink 2 of the waters a day. So I'm still getting like at least 80 ounces of water a day. And this is 40 ounces of tea. But so I am glad that I got them. Yes, people were flipping out on them damn Stanley Cups, Janessa, and I'm just like, what? Why? I think Stanley Cups are a waste of money for me, but that retro Barbie collection was so tempting. Those designs were perfection. Janessa, you are funny. So yeah, I wasn't going to do it. I'm like, that is freaking ridiculous. And they sent me a sticker with each one that says, and it's colorful and it is cute, and it says you can do this. But I'm like, I already drink, 60 to 80 ounces of water a day, so I don't need a sticker to remind me I can do it. So I didn't even put the stickers on it. Plus, I'm like, I just like how this looks. I like this faded look. But anyway, no, I ain't get no damn Stanley Cup. No. So this is color story number 1. So collectively, we're going to decide which one of the names we're going to call this palette. One name, there's another palette I have one of these names in my mind for. And so I might, just kind of override stuff. A hardware store has the Yeti brand. They were pink. They also marked it way up like it was a Stanley Cup. The ones I have, I have 2, I think they're 24 ounces. It's not Yeti, but it's another brand that's really popular. And I got those at either Dick's Sporting Goods, probably like in 2020. And it was either Dick's Sporting Goods or it was Cabela's, which is a sporting goods store. And so those I just use for water, but now I just use these 2. But these things are heavy to carry. So the other one, they're like, oh, take it with you camping, hiking. I'm like, shit. It's just 40 ounces is heavy for me anyway. But so I would use the 20-ounce ones. What is that brand? It's not Yeti, but it's very popular. As popular as the Yeti brand. So this one, and I'm going to show y'all this palette, and I'm going to tell y'all the 2 names. And I love that there is a backstory, as I mentioned earlier, to the names. I'm trying to slow down. I feel like I'm talking really fast. Am I talking too fast, y'all? So we're going to look at this one. It wasn't Arctic. I cannot remember. But it wasn't Arctic anything. So this is color story number 1. I really feel like over the last couple weeks, I really feel like I'm leaning more into my goth grunge, messy grunge vibe, smoky vibe. I really feel like that. And that played a role too. When I look at the palettes I took out of my rotation, I'm just like, yeah, those wasn't it. They was nice, but it doesn't feed my soul. And so this one name that was given was Skittles, but there's another one of these palettes that I keep feeling like is Skittles. And they chose Skittles because they know I really like Skittles. And this is like a rainbow, but another palette I have is like more bright than this. I think it's that the one from the clearance shades. And so the other name is fall for I got a name is something I can pronounce. Fall foliage because it made them think of autumn vibes. So this palette, and we could just call it autumn vibes because that I will remember, but I am going to put labels on them anyway. And what I was going to say earlier is that depending on what the outside looks like and what we name the palette, I may switch the colors out for another one. Just like I took stuff out of this one to put Mission Triple X in there because it's green. But we're really just focusing on the color story. So what say you? Skittles, I kind of don't want to do Skittles because another one makes me think of Skittles. But I don't want to say I'll make an executive decision because that makes me think of Orange Dude and that. Ugh, okay. So one name was given with Skittles and one was Fall Foliage, which is challenging for me to say for some reason. Or we can just say Autumn Vibes. And so me, I am feeling Autumn Vibes for this palette versus Skittles. But what do y'all say? So we're interactive today. We're going to name these palettes together, and I will put labels on them later. So, Skittles or Autumn Vibes? Bueller? I thought it would be fun for us to do this together, but y'all, I hit the wrong button, and it completely went out, and I was like, oh. But then when I clicked it back, it said resume. Y'all, my heart was in my throat. I'm like, no. Yeah, I really thought I lost y'all. I'm reading comments. And also I want it to be something that when I look at it, or even if we put this in a different thing, like I'll know Mission Triple X is that because it's green. I'll know that 669 dupe is that because it's black. So that type of thing too. So let me read these comments. Let's see. Locke, I'm going to say no because they gave names for each individual color story. And so the two names that they each gave me is a choice between those two based on just the color story for those two. And so I don't know if seeing the other ones would help because the names that were given for this one won't be for the other ones. Autumn Vibe says Janessa. Autumn Vibe says Dawn. Me too. Grace says Autumn Vibes too. Tanya says Autumn Vibes. So it's looking like Autumn. Sandy says Autumn Vibes. Dawn says Autumn Eve. What? Dawn, you just trying to be different. So I have an itch. I don't want to be rude. I stick my finger in my nose. All right, y'all. So this, like evening, I understand Dawn, but autumn evening? But doesn't all of autumn look like this and not just the evening? I'm tripping. Thank you, Locke. I was hoping that made sense because I know sometimes I speak gibberish. It could be helpful to see the other. Oh, I'll let you know because it just looks like a bag of Skittles to see if you think it's more Skittles. It's a brighter color story than this one, and that's why I think Skittles. Because this one to me is like more autumn vibes, and the other one is like bright colors that I love, surprisingly, because y'all know I like dark and smoke. It looks like a misty, like evening, says Dawn. Okay. Tanya says revisor of the Vision palette. So the consensus is, excuse me for that glare, I need to not do that again. So this is Autumn Vibes, y'all. Thank you so much. I'm going to write it on this paper and I'm going to do my label later. Hey, I might do, maybe I'll post it. Hey, Tony, maybe I'll do another members post to see, like for another live, do you want me to swatch each palette? Like after I have like the official label on it, like what it is, and swatch it out to see. I think that would be too much for this video because we're already going to be swatching 2 other palettes. So this is Autumn Vibes. Thank you so much, y'all. And thanks to the members who gave the name. This one, you know what I'm thinking right now? Switching this color story. I'm thinking of switching this color story and putting it in this palette because this is Autumn Vibes. Sandy says just the swatches later on these. So that's what I was saying, how I might move a color story, because doesn't this look like it would be in here? And then because it is like autumn and it's, goes with the colors in here, when I see this, I may remember this is autumn vibes. Like I only have one green one, so I know that's Mission Triple X inspired. So I may do that. So I'm going to put a note. Sandy says questions. Swatches of named palettes later. And we'll do that another time in a live stream. What's today's date? Today is the 27th? 28th? What's today's date, y'all? Because I can't look at my phone. I ain't touching nothing else. I'm on 27. Thank you, Tanya. I always put dates on my notes. Okay, so autumn vibes. So we have that one. This one, I'm in my driveway safely chatting. Thank you, Sandy, because I'm like, y'all gotta stay with me here and be well. Yeah, Grace says, yeah, she agrees with Tanya, leaves all the way. Okay, so this one, oh, wait a minute. I gotta put my label name paper back in here. The paper goes where the color story goes. So this one, oh, Locke is saying, awesome, Sandy, that you're safe. This one, y'all, this is, this one, out of the two names we have to choose from, excuse me, one is The Wiz, because it made them think of when they sang that song, and it kind of reminded them of their childhood. And we're about the same age, and so I remember that too. And the other name is Rainbow Orchid, how do you, okay. Orchid, that's what it is. Tony says Caribbean vibes. Rainbow Orchid. I don't know why I'm having so much problem talking today. So we have The Wiz or Rainbow Orchid. And if you look up Rainbow Orchid, that is the name of a flower, of a colorful flower. And so I'm kind of feeling that for this, because I did Google it. I Googled Rainbow Orchid, and this is the color story. And I was like, oh my gosh. Now, will I remember it's in here? But we're going to move it. We're going to have autumn vibes in here. So maybe, depending, maybe we'll put that in this palette, because it's a flower. So, yeah, that might just switch as far as the outer packaging. And so we have The Wiz or Rainbow Orchid. I don't know why I was wanting to say orchard, or I don't know what I was saying. It is bluesy. Yeah, because these in this one. And this is adorable. Look at this shade, y'all. Look at that. Oh. All right, so if y'all don't pick, I'm going to pick. The Wiz or Rainbow Orchid. Yes, Janessa, she said she just Googled it. I like Rainbow Orchid. It looked, right? When I looked it up, I'm like, that's the color story. All right, so we're going to go with Rainbow Orchid for this palette. Why do I feel like I'm a game show host? Do you want to make a lifeline? Yeah, okay, the Mountain Dew is doing too much. All right, so Rainbow Orchid, and I am going to move this into the pink one unless something happens, and I'm just like, no. Tony said it reminds her of blue water in the sky. Yeah, it does. Number 3. This one is a fun one. Well, they're all fun. Is this the one that I was talking about? Yup, this is the one I was talking about. This is the one that we did from all we in the lightning round of the show. This is the one from all clearance shades. This is the one that makes me think of Skittles. But both the names were good. So we have Rainbow Sherbet. That was a flashback. I grew up on Rainbow Sherbet. And then you put a little ginger ale in it. So like a root beer float, but it's not root beer and it's not vanilla ice cream. And especially these down here make me think of Rainbow Sherbet. And they said or Mountain Dew flavors, because they know I love Mountain Dew and I do love all the flavors. But I tend to get just the basic one because darker sodas, as you know, over time, if you drink a lot, it'll stain your teeth. So that's why I just drink the basic one usually, but I do like all the flavors. So we have rainbow sherbet or Mountain Dew. I know you don't like Baja Blast, Tanya. I do. And the other one was Distant Galaxy or Cosmic Boom. I see the vision of Cosmic Boom, but for some reason, when I think of anything in outer space, I think of something darker. But then the boom is where the lightness comes from. You know what I mean? Just like a firecracker, it goes straight up and then it's like, and you shall see all the colors. Oh man, so we got one Cosmic Boom and one Rainbow Sherbet. I am leaning towards, actually, I'm leaning towards Skittles, but I definitely do see sherbet in here because my mom used to buy it a lot when I was growing up. So we have Rainbow Sherbet, one for Rainbow Sherbet and one for Cosmic Boom. So is there something to break the tie? Because I'm leaning towards Rainbow Sherbet. Bert asked Ernie to go get ice cream. What did Ernie say? Janessa, I don't know. Sherbet says Nina. Oh, he says Sherbet. Sure, Bert. Like Sherbet. Okay, I got it, Janessa. Janessa, you're funny. Let me read that over. Bert asked Ernie to go get ice cream. What did Bernie say? Bernie says, sure, Bert. Janessa, you are a wealth of interesting information. All right, so we have sure, Bert. Now, what if I put that label? I might put that label on here. Rainbow sure, Bert. I might just do that because y'all know I'm goofy like that. And so I might put that in here. I'm not sure because of all the different colors on here. And I do think having the color story and the palette that matches the color story, I think that'll help me remember when I see it what it is, except I have like 3 of these black ones. 4 if I count Mission Triple X. Okay, so Rainbow Sure, Bert. I'm really going to put that. I'm going to be like, what the hell is that? Okay, so number 3 is Rainbow Sherbet. Janessa, you are funny, and I am here for it. It's a good dad joke, says Janessa. All right, so this one, I wish they had other options. Because most of mine are black. I know Grace Janessa is funny, right? This one, color story number 4. This is dark. I love it. So we have Rebellious as its title. And why? Let me just note that I have one here too. I don't know. I'm reading the note I put on here, and I don't know why I wrote that. So we have Rebellious, and we have Motley. And we know that Motley is a collection of something. And so this is just a collection of something. So those are our name options for this one. And I think it fits that this isn't a black one because this is a darker palette. So we have Rebellious, which fits because this is not like the typical type looks that people would do, and Motley because it is a collection. And so we have one for Motley. What say the rest of you here in our little game show live stream? Bueller? I do really like this palette. Actually, I really like all of them. Like I thought about ranking these, and I don't know if I could. And so anybody else, what do you think? Or we'll just go with Motley. And I am kind of thinking Motley. Because I think I would forget. Tanya says she'll take Motley for 200. So, all right. We're going to go with Motley. Motley. All right. I like Motley, says Janessa. We're a Motley crew. Yes, we are. We definitely... Hiccup, excuse me. We definitely are. And I thought about that too. Like when I was thinking about the Crazy Troll Nation, we are a Motley crew. Let me know if any of you have seen that movie Unusual Suspects, because I thought about that too, because that was like a weird group of people, but they made a cohesive team. It's an older movie. Kevin Spacek was in it. I think one of the Busey boys was in it. I think something, but it was a good movie. But anyway, it was an older movie. This one, Color Story number 5. Oh, this is bright. The names we have for this one, Tanya hasn't seen it, but she heard of it. It was an interesting movie. Is that his name? Something Spacek. Spacek. I don't know. So we have Candyland. Kevin, yes, Tanya, that guy. We have Candyland. And we have Scarlett McCall. And I was like, yes, thank you, Janessa. Kevin Spacey. Spacey. What was in Spacek? That's that lady that was in that old Carrie movie, right? Yo, I be tripping. I tell y'all, my brain is a scary place. Candyland. It does look like that too. So Candyland, Sissy Spacek. Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of Kevin Spacek, but then in my mind, I'm like, that don't really sound right. Y'all keep me straight. I appreciate that, because as y'all see, I'll be like, I don't know what's going on. So we have one for Candyland, and we also have Scarlett McCall. I did look up, Nina says Candyland. I did look up Scarlett McCall, and I did ask the person, like, what is that? But meanwhile, I had Googled it. It's the name of a bird that has very bright and colorful flowers. I've never heard of it. But when I Googled it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it does look like that. So we have 2 for Candyland, and I think we'll do Candyland because also it's nostalgic. Because I remember having that game as a kid. I sucked at games when I was a kid. Yo, I hated fucking Monopoly. You play for 4 hours and still lose. Yeah, I'm still bitter. Yeah, but if you Google it, Tanya, Google Scarlett McCall, MACAW. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. But we'll go with Candyland. That's the majority vote. And I do think, yeah, Janessa says Candyland too. But I do think we're going to switch this out with whatever that other color story was. So sadly, this may end up in, I don't want to put this in a black palette, but we'll see. So, Scarlett McCall. Let me know if this is fun for y'all, because I was hoping that this would be to have y'all interact and name my palettes. So, Candyland for number 5. The one that I posted and then I said disregarded, one member still gave me a name for it, and it's perfect. It's perfect. And so that is the name we're going to go with. And it fits that it is in black because, y'all, this is Dark Matter, and that's the one I said was so dark. I wasn't ready the first time I used it, and I used the Hourglass number 3, which is a wide brush. So the shadow was just, and I was just like, and this one is Event Horizon. I'm seeing, let me see if I can do it. Sorry for that glare. So you see how it's orange, this one right here, or yellow, but then look at it. These two, the formula has changed. So with the order I placed for a palette, I did reorder Event Horizon and Dark Matter. So these two are going to go in the trash when I get the new ones, and I'll put the new ones in here. Because Dark Matter is looking like, you guys might not be able to see it on this side. It looks like it's breaking away. And Dark Matter is just has a gouge in it. But look how beautiful that is. Dark Matter. So we're replacing both of those. So I know to use a little brush and a light hand with this. So the name that the member gave me was Anxiety. And I said, you know what? Yeah. Because I remember saying this shade was intimidating to me. Me who loves dark looks. I was intimidated by this. And I'm feeling anxiety right now, even talking about it. Like, seriously, I'm just like... And so as much as I liked it, I have not used it a lot. But y'all know what? I'm going to use it. When a new one comes in, these two are going to be replaced, and we're going to use these palettes. But look at... I don't want to glare you. But if you look in the mirror at these two right here where my pinky is, and then you look at them like how they look in the palette. Excuse me for that glare. Like these shades, y'all. And so Tanya's a palette name she can relate to with anxiety. And Nina's saying same to Locke about Dark Matters on her wish list. When I order from Letho, I use Teresa's Dead's code, which is garbage, and she doesn't get commission from it. I don't know if she gets credit, but I remember her saying she doesn't get monetary commission from it, but it saves 10%, which knocks off the shipping. Because for free shipping from Letho, it's like $100, and I'm just like, I'm not trying to do that. But anyway, so this is anxiety, and these two fit here as long as these, as well as these two, because these are lighter shades. Is this a duochrome? There's yellow at the top. I'm seeing like a gold. I don't want to blind you. No, that's what it looks like, even in the mirror. Okay, so that's just a bright gold color. And so these make this dark, and this is transmutation, which is a black, and it is dark. We have this in Mission Triple X as well. So yeah, this palette is called Anxiety. And I like this color story because there's enough lighter shades to offset, if we want to, the darker shades. And so this is Dahlia that came in, what am I looking at? This is Dahlia that came in the mystery bag, and the other Dahlia is in here with that other water activated liner. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with those. So has this been as much fun for y'all as it has been for me? I appreciate the help. I'm just like, what can we do in a live stream and have fun and just not be staring at the screen like she's still talking? So I don't have a name for this one, this little 6-pan one. I don't know. Anybody want to take a stab at it? And honestly, this may change. Like if I get other shadows, they may get moved from here into the empty 9-pan. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this one needs a name. And it's the only 6-pan. So I'll just be like the little 6-pan palette. But I do like how cohesive this is, considering they were leftover shades. So that's our little 6-pan. So we have named 6 palettes. Thank y'all so much. Now we're going to get into, I'm going to leave this out because I need to do labels. And Sandy said call it Spare Squares. I like that one. And Janessa says it could be Mountain Dew. I do like square, if I can say it right, Spare Squares. But I also do like Mountain Dew. Because I do drink the one that's mostly the yellow one. Oh, see, now I don't know because I got 2 good names. Spare Squares is good, especially if you are switching stuff in and out. Okay. That makes sense, Janessa, because I most likely will. And yeah, so this will end up in a 9-pan once we get like other extra shades. Okay, so we're going to say, and Nina said the Dew, but we're going to do Spare Squares because it is going to just end up being a palette with just random shades. Okay. That's what I was thinking of, Janessa. It's a floater palette. Yes, exactly. All right, so let me write a note on here. Y'all are so smart. I like y'all. Spare Squares. Okay, so we've made 7 palettes, y'all. Thank you so much. Now, take a sip of tea and we're going to get into swatching. I keep forgetting, excuse me, that this isn't quite room temperature and I'd be taking like a big sip. But it's not hot though, it's just like a little bit warm. All right, so Mission Triple X, 18 pans. Mission Triple X Inspired, 12 pans. So what made it easy was we have 4 greens. 1, 2, 3, 4 greens. We have a black, what looks like a black, but this is like one of them xenon shades where it looks black in person, black with sparkles, but when I look at it where you are, it looks blue based. And then we have Gorman. There's some angles it looks like it's black, but it's green. So actually, we have 5 greens. One, what is this? A shift. So that's a brown. Then whatever was I seeing? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 greens if we want to count this one, and blacks or blackish. This Vasquez, which is a dark gray if you look at it from this angle, and we have this one and this here, and we have 2 silvers. And so it was easy to narrow it down to 12 because we have like 4 of greens, 5 greens, or whatever. So this is the inspiration. At first I tried to line them up by rows like I did with 669, but then I thought that's not really going to work. And so, but this is what we did. So it does to me look inspired. Let me know what y'all think. I definitely want to swatch this one. Let me know if y'all want me to swatch Mission XXX. And I thought about swatching shades against shades, but, or I could do just the ones I thought they're similar, says Grace. And then I thought to swatch the ones that I matched up, quote unquote. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Let's see. Where's my cloth? Because I know I'm about to make a mess. This is exciting. Y'all know I love swatches. This is exciting. Let me get my trash bag. My trash can, rather. I'm going to just put that on my desk. Can you see? All right. Did I miss any comments? I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Y'all help me more than y'all know, because I told y'all earlier, like, my feelings have been fluctuating like all day, like seriously all day, and I'm like, I got my live tonight, I get to talk to my trolls. So I don't know if I want to hold them both up. Mission XXX is no longer available, so I'm gonna just say what the shade is from Mission XXX inspired. So we will do that. This shade makes sense if I put it in front of me. This shade is Cryptic. Oh, y'all, I love these shades. What are we gonna do? 4 across. This is Cryptic. Look at, y'all see that, right? Why does that look like that water activated liner? One side yellow, one side green. Y'all see that, right? Tell me y'all see that shift. That's this one. So it's green and then it's more like a yellow green. Look. And I so-called tried to match that. Do I want to hold up both? No. Because that would be a lot going back and forth. So I tried to match it with this one that's a bright green though. Let's do it this way. But not quite though. This is a little deceptive. I'm going to end up holding this up. This is deceptive. This is this shade, but it's looking like a light turquoise instead of that. So next we're going to, what was this one supposed to be? Oh, we're going to take Biome. I have this, I think it's in a 669 palette, and I have it in the Spare Squares palette. So I have this 3 times. I'm such a hypocrite. I don't like dupes in my collection, but I don't know. But then I repurchased the same shade. Your lethal formula is so smooth. So this is Biome. Y'all, these shades. So you see that, right? You see that, right? Here you see a little bit of both. Y'all see that? That's this. Y'all see that, right? And we swatched that against Jones. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't gonna hold them up. This shade here, because this is a dual chrome. Yeah, some of these are getting flaky. So the formula is changing. It's not dead yet though. And so this was one of the ones that were closer. Because some, excuse me for smacking, like these, like this angle, they kind of look almost, but then this top one has a shift and this one doesn't. But These two, look at that and look at that. Mm. The lethal one is a tad darker. No, it's a tad lighter, but the shift is brighter. So throw that away. And back to this one, we're going to go into Arsenic, which is this shade. This does have a shift. Y'all, this is so pretty. This is Arsenic. So it's pink and a deeper pink. So that's Arsenic. That shade. And I don't know what I tried to match that with, because it ain't nothing in this row that looks like that. Because this looks silver. And so we're going to put that down here. So yeah, so they are not the same at all. All right, so I'm not going to keep holding these up because I feel like it's just slowing me down, and we've been here almost an hour already. So now we're going to come down to Ether. This is a pretty shade too. Oh my God, all of these are pretty. I just love me some lethal. I really do. And we don't have no space over here, do we? Yeah. Ooh! 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 Look at that. Look. Oh. That ain't like nothing in Mission Triple X at all. Nothing at all. Nothing. It's telling me I got 15% on my phone. This is nothing like that. Nothing. Do I have another cord here somewhere? Oh shit. Can I plug it in while I'm on it? I honestly didn't think to. Shit. I have a bunch of cords, and now all of a sudden they want to hide. Excuse me, y'all, because I do not want this to cut us off. I found my cords. These are 3 different cords. Hopefully it'll let me. Is that going to reach? Shit. Damn it. And my long cord. Y'all, I'm going to have to go get my longer cord. Excuse me. Don't go anywhere. And I'm stepping over this one because I need a longer cord for that. Here I am. Thank you for not going anywhere. Ah! I knew I was going to trip over it. I had a feeling I was anyway. All right, we're going to plug this in and keep it moving. Y'all, this is only that ring light in the back. Wait a minute now. Come on. Did I not plug you in right? Nope. All right. Woo. All right, so we got a longer cord. Hopefully this will let me. Can I find the hole? Okay. Hopefully this will. Oh shit. I don't know what y'all saw. Oh my gosh. What the hell? People are like, this is too much. People are leaving. And now this is. Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to turn y'all around because. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I am so sorry. Content creation doing live streams can be challenging. But are you gonna stay put? Nope. Because the foot part is backwards. All right, let me plug this in and make sure. Thank y'all for being here and thank you for your patience. Yes, it is charging. Okay. All right. Yo, that was crazy. That was crazy. And this light up here wants to wiggle and wobble. All right, so where were we? So yeah, there's nothing in Mission Triple X that looks like that. People are not here for the shenanigans. I apologize. All right, I'm gonna take this one. There is a yellow in Mission Triple X. This shade is Helio. Now I feel like y'all are farther away. This is Helio. So let me move y'all closer very gently. We cannot have any more mishaps today. So that is Helio. Oh, it says it's slow charging. Well, as long as it's charging. And for Mission Triple X, this one. Why is this one used on both sides? The mattes in here are like really nice. We're gonna put this up here. So the yellow one here is brighter, but it goes on brighter, but then it blends out almost to a mustard, which as you see, it blends into my complexion. So that made it a good transition shade for me. We're just gonna breeze through the rest. We're not gonna, I keep saying we're not gonna go back and forth, and then I do. This one is Exosphere, and I have this in another palette, and this, look at that, it's purple and then it's not. This is beautiful. I feel like I say that a lot with lethal shades, like this is so beautiful, because they really are. So you can see the shift. So you see that purple over here? You see that purple, and then it's blue. The one in Mission Triple X is just a purple. So this is what I matched it to. This one is starting to feel crumbly. So the purple kind of almost goes, but then because lethal has that flip, it doesn't go. Now I'm going to come, this is Rise from the Ashes. I have this, I think, in 3 other palettes. It's definitely a Mission Triple X. And I think this one is too. Rise from the Ashes, I do believe I have it at least like in 2 other palettes. It's just a pretty gray blue shade. That's very pretty. And what was I going to swatch that one against? Maybe this one? I'm going to put that up here. No, it's not enough space. So the lethal one is a lot darker. Okay, now we're going to come down here. This one is Numb. Where are we going to put this? We're going to put this right here. That's pretty. It looks really grayish, but it has a bluish base to it. Do y'all ever buy shadows and it surprises you, like the flips that it has? And there is a gray in Mission Triple X. But because this one looks like it has a blue base once we swatched it, these are similar. And I did swatch them out to figure out what shades to get. But yeah, so that one is close, surprisingly. This one is Night Long. I do have this in another palette. Yo, I just don't care. Like, Lethal is making me a hypocrite with not wanting dupes in my collection, but then buying them. So this is Night Long. And that is just bright and pretty. And there's a blue purple in Mission Triple X. And I did show the swatches. I don't know if I did it public or if it was for members only, but there were only a handful of shades that there were actually dupes for. Undertones and pans can be surprising. Yes, Sandy, yes. So these two, and they seem to blend out the same, like almost into a purple. So these were 2 of maybe like 2 other shadows that were close. Like these look close until you see the shift. These are close. These 2 are close until, yeah. So that's only like 3 out of the whole pan. Right here, these 2 look almost close, but the lethal is brighter. But this way, it looks a little less dark than the Mission one. And this one is Unearthed. For some reason, I think I have this somewhere else, but not intentionally. So I don't know if it was in a palette that I purchased or not. So we're gonna put this here. So this is really like a there, not there kind of shade. Looks like it has a gray base, but in person it looks tan, like a light tan. So that is that one. And there is no dupe for that unless we swatch one that we swatched earlier for this gray up here. Maybe that's the one we tried to match it to. And this one seems to have a blue base. Interesting. So we got one more yarn, then we'll be done. This one is Mycelium. I do think we have this somewhere else in another palette. I'm a hypocrite. We're going to do our nose. This does have a shift. I should have put this somewhere else. Oh, look at that. And look at that. Oh my gosh. Look. Oh, man. Lethal be taking my words out of my mouth. Look at, I can't even say anything. And the one in, what did we try to match that with? I don't know. Probably none. I think we might have swatched this one before. I think so, because this is going to be, yeah, this is purple. This ain't it. That ain't it. But that has, yeah, that wasn't it. That was not, see, here they look almost the same, but this looks more purple, that's more red, but then this has that goldy green shift in it. Y'all, so this is our Mission XXX inspired palette. I was going to do looks like we did with 669, one eye with Mission, one eye with the inspired one, but I'm not going to do that because there's only like 3 shades that are actually dupes. This blue here, this gray, and this one in the center until we see the shift. And so we're just going to do maybe a 3-look 1 video or more, because I don't know if I can do looks by rows. Well, I know I could, but I don't know if it'll look right by rows like we did with 669 with this color story because of the shifts. But we're going to knock out some looks with this, and we're not going to, I do want to use Mission XXX more, but I don't want to just use it just to use it. So I need to figure that out. But I know I'm not ready to let it go yet. I do know that. So, you know, we'll do a series with this, like 3 looks in 1 video, and we'll just call it something. And then that'll be it for this for the most part. But I'm not getting rid of it yet until it dies. But we are going to knock out some looks with this Mission XXX inspired palette. What do y'all think of this color story? I'm just like... And once you dig into it, you can see the shift without moving it. Because here it's just blue, but since I swatched it, it kind of did something to it. So you can actually see that burgundy tone in there. Ooh, y'all, these shades. Do y'all have lethal shadows or lethal palettes? I'm excited for the one coming. And I want to feel like a hypocrite again, but I'm not. But that's everything we had today. So let me know what you think. Like... Is inspired a better word than dupe? And do you have any lethal shadows or lethal palettes? Locke says she loves, well, she has lethal matte. I love their formulas. I have never had a dud in any of their palettes, any of their shadows, like not ever. Like it is a tried and true for me. So that's what we have, y'all. We named, including this one, 7 palettes. So I got work to do. Switching the color story with the outer packaging and doing the labels, which will be the easy part. And we're also going to do looks with this. And then we're going to roll back around and just do some looks with this. But I have to think of like, what do I want to name like that video, or what little series or something, because I'm not ready to let it go and it's not dead yet. A few of the shades, the shadows, the formula is a little different, but not so different where I'm like, okay, yeah, you're done. With 669, I used it till it irritated my lids. Hey Joe, how are you? Sandy doesn't have any lethal. You know what I'm gonna do, Sandy? You have this one, Mission XXX, Joe? Excuse me. Did you just get here, Joe? Or were you here before and I didn't see you? What I'm going to do, Sandy, if you want them, but you'll need to have something to put them in. I can send you Dahlia. Dahlia is, we didn't swatch Dahlia. I can send you this. Okay, so you just got here, Joe. So what we did was, I looked at Mission XXX because it's starting to change a little bit, but it's not quite dead yet. And so I did a Mission XXX inspired palette using lethal shadows. So that's what this is. And that's what all the swatches are on the face. And so it's not exact, so it's not a dupe, but it's inspired by. And so that's what all of this is on my face. And we named 7 palettes. And so you missed that part. That was a fun party. So if you, Sandy, if you want me to, or if you want to try them, I can send you Dahlia just to see if you like the matte formula. And if you want to try their water activated eyeliner, I can send you this one because I have no idea what to do with either one of these. And they sent me duplicates of this. So I have this in the palette that I showed y'all already. And the one that I kept of the water activated, it was like a bright yellow and a green, even though I do have a yellow and green Inglot liners, but I just want to try it. So if you want these, Sandy, let me know and I will just send these out to you, but you will need to have a pan to put them in. So that's what we'll do with that if you want those. And so y'all, that is it for tonight's live. We did a lot of stuff. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate it. The post is still up on, I think, considering you use less pans, you did good. Thank you. And I did swatch everything in here, and it just wasn't against the lethal shadows I had. And some of them I did not have. And so I looked at, excuse me. Oh, that's okay. I appreciate that if you do, Joe. Looking at the shadow descriptions, which I like that they do on the Lethals page. And so just looking at, because like this shade I didn't have, unless I'm lying to you. That is unearthed. That's Numb. I do not have Numb. But looking at this gray in the middle, this one, or was it this one? Looking at this gray, I looked at the description of gray shadows, and that's why I picked this. And so some I just like looked at the shade descriptions and picked it, and some of them I do already have, as I said. But yeah, so because I didn't want to get one of their large pans. So 12 is the largest, and then there's one that's just like humongous, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. Sandy says, I'd enjoy it. Okay, thank you, Sandy. Because you know I love to give stuff a home and for it to be used. Okay. Oh, you have empty singles from that your sister got. Awesome. So let me do another note before we go, because I'll be like, what am I supposed to be doing? No, I did just buy some new Post-it notes. Okay, Sandy, my 32nd day one. Lethal. Okay. And I'm going to put the note on here. All right. I got other stuff to mail out, too. Something with somewhere. Y'all, and I do apologize when the thing flipped over and all of that. It was the cord from the phone, but we're not going to do long goodbyes because y'all know I'm good for that. And I know we're all sorts of crooked, but I appreciate y'all helping with this. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we have names for the palettes. I need to see what color stories I'm going to switch with the outer packaging. After I finish the Valentine's Day or anti-Valentine's Day stuff, we'll do some stuff with this, and then with this, and then with other stuff. And y'all, if y'all create content, y'all know it never ends. Sandy said, I have a gift here for you if I remember to send it. Oh my gosh, Sandy. And you do a lot. You already do a lot here for me, and I do appreciate it. So any closing comments or anything? If not, we're going to just go ahead and wrap up. I thank all of you for being here. And I will say this. It does help. Y'all support does help me a lot, and being here in the live streams and even watching the replay and leaving comments helps me a lot, because as I said a few times, my emotions have been up and down, and just knowing I can come and just hang out with y'all and just talk to y'all, like, it really helps. It really does. And I appreciate y'all being here for that. And yeah, so that's going to be it, y'all. That's going to be it. And I like when I paint my face. I'm so adorable. But so we're going to go for tonight, y'all. We have another live for this Thursday. I think that's the one, top 15 beauty products or something, that I was tagged by Ann and Camel for that. And it's not going to be a surprise to none of y'all, because y'all know I don't switch up a lot of skincare stuff. And then I'll schedule, I do have 3 titles for live streams in February, and we are going to do still Mondays and also Thursdays, and so I'll schedule those 3 and then think of what else that we're going to do. Oh, Sandy said swatch these. So here's a question, Sandy. This is 7 palettes including the spare squares. Sandy, do I split these up into 2 different live streams or just do it all in one? That's a question. This time of year is dreary. That and my hormones is just doing whatever they want to do any day of the week, and the political climate. And so I'm just like, what like I'm seriously struggling. Some days I'm better than others, but then like today I'm just like up and down. So Sandy, swatch all of these in one live stream or split it up into two. These are all 12 pans. So she says to split them because I'm like, that's 96 shades. And I remember we did 40 with the Matte Pride palette. Okay, so we're going to do, so I will schedule these. We have 3 already for February I need to schedule. So it'll probably be maybe and I'm going to do these on Mondays because Mondays seems to be better as far as attendance for live streams. And so, yeah, Mondays we'll do 3 and one will do 4 because we have this little one right here. I may be lucky I sleep through everything. And I need to put that on a note too. Let me see. Swatches of name palettes. Split into live streams. Is anybody, are any of you like me where you have to write notes right away or you'll forget? And you may remember later, but you may not. And so I don't want to chance it. Split into 2 different lives. And the palette that I ordered, we're going to do a live stream swatches of that too. Yeah, so we'll be doing a lot of swatches in February, and that palette should be here in February. So thank y'all again for being here, for the interaction, for helping me name these palettes. Thank you to the 2 members who sent their names, name suggestions, and the reasons, because that made some of them sentimental. Like, sure, Bert, like, yeah, that was very sentimental in Candyland. I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so freaking old right now. But anyway, so we're going to go. Thank y'all so much. I do hope that all of you are managing well with everything that's going on, the weather being dreary and the political climate and all of that stuff. Please engage in self-care on a regular basis and keep an eye out, members, for members only posts and the poll post that I did for thumbnails. So if y'all can go answer that, that would be great. Sandy says I'll write notes and then take a picture of the note when I lose, or for when I lose it. I haven't done that yet. But I have started taking pictures of when the seasonings I pulled out for something, and y'all have seen pictures of that in my cooking videos, because then I remembered, I'm like, okay, these are the seasonings I used for that, and it was hella good. I don't know, one of my cooking videos is like less than 2 minutes long. Sandy's like, good night, Dion. She's like, girl, you doing a long goodbye. Okay. Thank you, Sandy. We're going to go and videos throughout the week, and we'll be back here live stream on Thursdays. Everybody have a good night. Engage in self-care. Take care of yourself, and you will see me soon. Good night, everybody.